Captain Lee Daeho was drinking his morning coffee when the alarm bell started ringing. The hot liquid spilled on his uniform as he jumped up from his desk. Red lights flashed all over the Earth Defense Command Center. Something big was happening. "Sir, you need to see this right now," called Lieutenant Choi Hana from across the room. Her voice was shaking. In all her years working at the Defense Center, she had never sounded scared like this. Lee ran to the main screen. What he saw made his blood turn cold. Thousands of dots filled the display. Each dot was a spaceship. But these were not human ships. They were coming from deep space, heading straight for Earth. "How many?" Lee asked. "Over 10,000 ships, sir," Hana replied. "Maybe more. They are still coming." Dr. Park Yoon-ji rushed into the room. She was the best person on Earth for talking to aliens. Her hair was messy and she looked like she had not slept in days. "Captain, I have been listening to their radio signals. You are not going to like what I found." Lee looked at her. "Tell me." "They are already talking about how to split up our planet. They want to take our water, our metals, everything. And they are talking about which humans to keep as slaves." Park's hands were shaking as she spoke. The room went quiet. Everyone stopped what they were doing to listen. "Slaves?" Lee asked. "Yes, sir. They have done this before. Many times they call themselves the hegemony. They have conquered hundreds of worlds, maybe thousands. They make the people work for them or kill them." Engineer Yoon Jae-min walked up to them. He was young but very smart with machines and weapons. "Captain, I have been studying their ships. Each one is bigger than our largest space station. Their weapons could destroy entire cities with one shot." Lee felt sick. Earth had maybe 50 small defense ships. The aliens had 10,000 giant warships. It was like a mouse fighting an elephant. "Have they tried to talk to us?" Lee asked. Park shook her head. "No, sir. They do not talk first. From what I can hear, they just show up and tell people to give up. If people say no, they destroy one big city to show their power. Then everyone gives up. How long do we have?" 2 days, maybe 3, Hana answered. "They are moving fast." Lee sat down hard in his chair. He had trained his whole life to protect Earth. But how could anyone protect against this? The aliens had ships, weapons, and soldiers that humans could not even imagine. "Sir," Yoon said quietly, "there is something else. I have been looking at the data from their old battles. They always win the same way. They show up with big numbers, scare everyone, and take over. But what? They have never fought anyone who fought back smart. Everyone just tried to shoot at them, or gave up right away." Lee looked around the room. His people were scared, but they were still working. Humans were good at working together when things got bad. Maybe that was something. "Get me Admiral Kim on the phone," Lee ordered. A few minutes later, Admiral Kim Tae-woo appeared on the big screen. He was an old man with gray hair, but his eyes were still sharp. He had seen many wars. "Daeho, I already know why you are calling. The whole planet knows by now. Our satellites have been watching them for hours." "Sir, what are our orders? Do we fight? Do we try to run?" Kim was quiet for a long moment. "How many people could we get off the planet if we tried?" "Maybe a few. 1,000, sir. We do not have enough ships. So we cannot run, and we cannot win a normal fight." Kim rubbed his face with his hands. "But maybe we do not need to fight normal." "What do you mean, sir?" "I have been thinking about something. These aliens have conquered hundreds of worlds, right? They must have millions of soldiers. But where did all those soldiers come from?" Park understood first. The planets they conquered, they make the people they beat fight for them. "Exactly," Kim said. "So their big, scary army is mostly made of people who hate them. People who were forced to fight." Lee started to see what the Admiral was thinking. "You want to talk to those people?" "More than talk, Daeho. I want to give them hope. When was the last time someone told those slaves that they could be free?" Hana looked confused. "But sir, how can we talk to them? We do not even know their C languages." Park smiled for the first time in days. "Actually, we do. I have been studying alien languages for 20 years, and their communication system is designed to reach every ship at the same time. If we can break into it, we can talk to everyone at once, Yoon finished. Every slave in their fleet. Kim nodded. The aliens think they are coming to conquer another weak planet. But what if instead they brought us the biggest army in the galaxy? An army that hates them more than anything. Lee stood up. This was crazy. This was impossible. This might be the stupidest idea anyone had ever had. But it was the only idea they had. What would we tell them? Lee asked. The truth, Kim replied. That they do not have to be slaves anymore. That Earth will not surrender. That if they want to be free, we will help them fight. Sir, they might not believe us. They might think it is a trick. Maybe. But Daeho, what if they do believe us? What if just some of them believe us? The aliens are coming here thinking they have 10,000 ships. But what if half those ships turn against them? The room was quiet again. Everyone was thinking about what this could mean. How long would it take to break into their communication system? Lee asked. Yoon looked at Park. If we work together, maybe one day, maybe less. And the message? I can translate it into any language we need, Park said. But sir, once we do this, there is no going back. We will be telling the whole galaxy that Earth will not give up. If this does not work, we all die anyway, Kim said. But if it does work, we might save not just Earth, but every world those aliens have conquered. Lee looked around the room at his people. They were scared, but they were ready. This was what humans did. When things looked impossible, they tried impossible things. All right, Lee said. Let's steal an alien army. Outside, the night sky looked normal. But somewhere out there, 10,000 enemy ships were coming closer every minute. In 2 days, everything would change. The question was, would Earth fall like all the others, or would humanity do something that had never been done before? The answer would shake the entire galaxy. Lee picked up his coffee cup. It was cold now, but he drank it anyway. It might be the last peaceful cup of coffee anyone on Earth would have for a very long time. Let's get to work, he said. The next day passed like a blur. Dr. Park Yoon-ji had not slept at all. Her eyes were red and tired, but she kept working. Engineer Yoon Jae-min sat next to her, typing on 3 computers at the same time. They were trying to break into the alien communication system. How much time do we have left? Park asked. Lieutenant Choi Hana checked her watch. 18 hours until they reach Earth. We are almost there, Yoon said. His fingers moved fast on the keyboard. Their system is old but strong. They have been using it for hundreds of years. Captain Lee Daeho walked around the room. He could not sit still. Soon they would either save the world or die trying. There was no middle choice. Sir, called a young officer from across the room. Admiral Kim wants to talk to you. Lee picked up the phone. Yes, sir? Daeho, the whole world is watching. Every government knows what we are trying to do. Some think we are crazy. Others think we are heroes already. What do you think, sir? Kim laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. I think we are about to find out if humans are as smart as we think we are. Just then, Yoon jumped up from his chair. I got it. I am inside their system. Everyone in the room stopped what they were doing. Park ran to Yoon's computer and looked at the screen. Alien words filled the display. This is amazing, she whispered. I can see messages from their whole fleet. Look at this. She pointed to different parts of the screen. This ship has people from a planet called Ketha. This one has people from a world called Nyx. And this one... Oh my God! What? Lee asked. This ship has people from over 20 different planets. All slaves. All forced to fight. Yoon was still typing. I can reach every ship at the same time. Every alien. Every slave. Everyone will hear our message. Ambassador Song Mi-rae had just arrived. She was the best person on Earth for talking to other governments, but today she would help talk to other species. What should we say? Song asked. Park looked at all the messages on the screen. I have been reading their communications all night. Most of the slaves do not even know there are others like them. The alien masters keep them apart. So they think they are alone. Lee said, "Yes. They think they are the only ones who were conquered. They do not know that there are thousands of other enslaved species in the same fleet." Song nodded. "Then we tell them the truth. We tell them they are not alone." Yoon finished, setting up the broadcast system. "Ready when you are." Lee took a deep breath. This was it. In a few minutes, they would send a message that would either save Earth or make the aliens very angry. "Are we broadcasting to everyone?" Lee asked. "Every ship, every person, every alien in their fleet," Yoon confirmed. Park had written the message in 847 different languages. It had taken her all night, but she had help from computers and old language files. "Admiral Kim, are you ready?" Lee asked into the phone. "Do it, Daeho. Let's wake up the galaxy." Lee nodded to Yoon. "Send it." The message went out across space, faster than light. It reached the alien fleet in seconds, but it did not go to the alien commanders first. It went to everyone. Far away in space on a ship called the Darkwing, a creature named Kef was cleaning the floors. Kef looked like a giant lizard, but he was gentle and smart. His people had been conquered 50 years ago. He had been a teacher, before the aliens came. Now he was a slave. Kef was alone in a hallway when he heard a voice speaking his language. This was strange. No one on the ship spoke his language except him. "To all enslaved species serving in the hegemony fleet," the voice said, "you are approaching Earth, homeworld of humanity. We know you did not choose to be there." Kef dropped his cleaning tools. Someone was talking to him. Someone who knew he was a slave. "When the fighting begins, any ship that stands down or switches, sides will be protected and aided. We do not surrender and we do not make others kneel." Kef could not believe what he was hearing. The humans were not going to give up, and they were offering to help slaves like him. On another ship, a creature named Vela heard the same message in her language. She looked like a tall bird with blue feathers. Her people had been conquered 20 years ago. She had been forced to work on alien weapons, making them stronger so they could conquer more worlds. For 20 years, she had thought she was the only one of her kind left alive. But now she was hearing that there were others, lots of others, back. On Earth, Dr. Park was watching the alien communications. The results were immediate and incredible. "Captain, look at this," she called out. "Their whole communication system is going crazy. Messages are flying between ships faster than I can read them." "What are they saying?" "The slaves are talking to each other. For the first time in decades, maybe centuries, they know they are not alone. On the big screen, they could see the alien fleet. But now something was different. Some ships were slowing down. Some were changing direction slightly. Lieutenant Hana was tracking everything. "Sir, 47 ships have stopped following the main fleet. They are just floating there." Yoon was still connected to their system. "I am seeing maintenance reports. Lots of ships are having technical problems all of a sudden." Song smiled. "Technical problems that happen right after they hear our message." Lee looked at the screen showing the alien fleet. It was not as organized as it had been an hour ago. Ships were spread out, some were moving slower. The tight formation was breaking apart. "They are scared," Lee realized. "Who?" Park asked. "The aliens or the slaves?" "The alien commanders. Look, at their messages." Lee pointed to Park's screen. "They are asking each other what is happening. They do not understand why their ships are not following orders." Song was reading over Park's shoulder. "The slaves are sharing information. They are telling each other about their home worlds, their families, their lives before the aliens came. And they are angry," Park added. "Very, very angry." Just then, a new message appeared on Park's screen. It was in simple human English. "This is Ship Commander Kef of the vessel Darkwing. We received your message, humans of Earth. We want to be free. How can we help?" The room went silent. A slave commander from the alien fleet was talking directly to them. Then another message appeared, and another. Within minutes, dozens of messages were coming in from different ships, all in different languages, but Park's computers translated them all. We want to fight with you. How do we break our chains? Can you really help us go home? We have weapons. We can turn them on our masters. Lee looked around the room. His people were staring at the screen in amazement. Their crazy plan was working. Admiral Kim, Lee said into the phone. Sir, you need to see this. I am watching, Daeho. The whole world is watching. You just started the biggest revolution in galactic history. But their celebration was cut short. A new message appeared on the screen. This one was different. It was from the alien commanders, and it was addressed directly to Earth. Humans of Earth. You have made a grave mistake. You will pay for interfering with our property. We are coming to destroy you all. The alien fleet started moving faster, toward Earth. But now Lee could see that it was not the same fleet that had started the journey. Many ships were no longer following orders. The slaves were waking up, and when slaves wake up, empires fall. Get ready, Lee told his team. The real fight is about to begin. The alien fleet was only 12 hours away from Earth when everything started falling apart. Overlord Vexithera stood in his command room, staring at reports that made no sense. His perfect war machine was breaking down from the inside. Sir, his assistant General Krytos said nervously, we have lost contact with 200 ships. Lost contact? How do you lose contact with 200 ships? They say their communication systems are broken, all at the same time. Vexthara's 4 eyes turned red with anger. In 800 years of conquest, nothing like this had ever happened. Fix it. Now. We are trying, sir. But there is more bad news. Vexthara wanted to throw something. What, now? Some ships are asking permission to return to base. They say their engines are failing. All at the same time? Yes, sir. Back on Earth, Dr. Park Yoon-ji was having the best day of her life. Her computer screens showed hundreds of messages from rebel slaves across the alien fleet. She could barely keep up with them all. Captain Lee, she called excitedly. You have to see this. Captain Lee Daeho ran to her desk. What is it? The slaves are not just talking to us anymore. They are talking to each other. Look. She pointed to her screen. This ship has people from the planet Ketha. This other ship has more people from Ketha. They found each other after being apart for 30 years. Engineer Yoon Jae-min looked up from his work. The alien communication system was not built for this. It is getting overloaded with all the messages. Good, Lee said. The more confused they are, the better for us. Lieutenant Choi Hana was tracking the alien fleet on the big screen. Sir, the fleet formation is completely broken now. Ships are spread out over millions of kilometers. Some are barely moving. Ambassador Song Mi-rae had been working all night to coordinate with the rebel slaves. Captain, I have been talking to slave commanders from 47 different species. They want to know our plan. Our plan? Lee asked. I thought they were part of our plan. Song smiled. They are asking if we want them to take control of their ships now, or wait until the battle starts. Lee's eyes went wide. They can take control of their ships? Many of them can. The aliens use slave crews to run most of the ship systems. The slaves know the ships better than their masters do. Just then, a priority message appeared on Park's screen. It was from someone called Commander Kef. Humans of Earth, this is Kef. I speak for 300 ships with slave crews. We are ready to fight with you, but we need to know, if we rebel, will you really protect us? We have been slaves for so long, we are scared. Lee took the microphone. This was the most important thing he would ever say. Commander Kef, this is Captain Lee Daeho of Earth Defense. I give you my word. If you fight with us, we will fight for you. If you help us save Earth, we will help you save your people. No one should be a slave. The response came back quickly. We believe you, Captain Lee. We will fight. Park was translating messages as fast as she could. Captain, more ships are joining the rebellion. I count 400 now. Maybe 500. Out of 10,000, Hana said grimly. It is a start, Lee replied. But across the room, another officer was getting different news. Sir, we have a problem. The loyal alien ships are grouping together. The ones still following orders are forming a smaller, tighter fleet. Lee looked at the display. About 6,000 ships were still under alien control. That was still more than enough to destroy Earth. How long until they arrive? Lee asked. 8 hours, sir. Admiral Kim's voice came over the communication system. All stations, this is Admiral Kim. I am getting reports from around the world. Other planets are hearing about what we did. Other planets? Lee asked. Planets that the aliens conquered years ago. Word is spreading that someone finally fought back. Some of those worlds are starting to rebel too. Park looked up from her computer. Sir, I am getting messages from planets I have never heard of. They are saying they will rise up when the battle starts. Song was reading more messages. Captain, this is incredible. The rebellion is spreading across the entire galaxy. Planets that have been quiet for decades are preparing to fight. Yoon was monitoring alien communications. The alien commanders are panicking. They are getting reports of uprisings on 20 different worlds. All because of our message? Lee asked. All because someone finally said what needed to be said, Song replied. That slavery is wrong. That people deserve to be free. Just then, the main screen showed something new. The alien fleet was splitting into two groups. The larger group was still coming toward Earth, but the smaller group, the rebel ships, was moving away from the main fleet. They are afraid to fight near the rebels, Hana observed. They do not trust their own people anymore. Lee smiled grimly. Good. Divided enemies are easier to defeat. But his smile faded when another report came in. Commander Kef's voice was, Worried? Captain Lee, we have bad news. The alien masters are starting to kill slave crews on some ships. They would rather destroy their own ships than let them rebel. The room went quiet. People were dying because of what Earth had started. How many? Lee asked quietly. We do not know, maybe thousands, maybe more. Lee felt sick. He had wanted to save people, not get them killed. Song put her hand on his shoulder. Captain, those people chose to rebel. They chose freedom over safety. Do not dishonor their sacrifice by feeling guilty. She is right, came Commander Kef's voice again. Captain Lee, the people who died today died as free beings, not as slaves. That is worth everything to us. Park was getting more messages. Sir, the rebellion is spreading faster than the aliens can stop it. For every ship they recapture, 2 more join the rebels. And they cannot watch all their ships at once, Yoon added. They do not have enough loyal soldiers. Lee looked around. The room. His people were tired but determined. Outside, the sun was setting. In a few hours, the biggest battle in human history would begin. Status report, Lee ordered. Hana checked her displays. Earth Defense Fleet is ready. 57 ships, all armed and in position. Rebel alien fleet status, Song consulted her messages. 832 ships have declared for Earth. More are joining every hour. Enemy fleet? 5,200 ships still loyal to the aliens, still coming toward us. Lee did the math. Earth's tiny fleet plus the rebels was still outnumbered 6-1. But those were better odds than they had started with. Admiral Kim, Lee called. Are we ready? As ready as we can be, Captain. The whole world is watching. The whole galaxy is watching. What happens in the next few hours will decide the future of freedom everywhere. Lee nodded. Then let us give them something worth watching. On the main screen, the enemy fleet was getting closer. But it was no longer the unstoppable force that had conquered hundreds of worlds. It was an army that could not trust its own soldiers, fighting an enemy that had turned their greatest strength against them. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see if a small blue planet could do what no world had ever done before. Defeat the hegemony not through superior force but through something far more powerful. Hope. The alien fleet arrived at Earth just as the sun was rising. Captain Lee Dae-ho stood in the command center drinking his 3rd cup of coffee. He had not slept in 2 days, but he was wide awake. Today would decide everything. Sir, Lieutenant Choi Hana called out. Enemy fleet is in position. They are forming up for attack. On the big screen, Lee could see the alien ships. There were still thousands of them, dark and scary against the stars. But something was different. The fleet looked smaller than it had 2 days ago. How many ships? Are they missing? Lee asked. Over 4,000, sir. Most joined the rebellion. Some just disappeared during the night. Dr. Park Yoon-ji was still at her computer, but now she looked excited instead of tired. Captain, I am getting reports from all over the galaxy. 17 planets have started fighting back. The aliens are having to send ships to deal with them. So they are fighting on multiple fronts now, Lee said with satisfaction. Yes, sir. And it gets better. Commander Kef says the rebel fleet is ready to fight alongside us. Engineer Yoon Jaemin looked up from his instruments. Sir, the aliens are trying to contact us. Put them through. The main screen changed to show an alien face. It was ugly and mean-looking, with 4 red eyes and sharp teeth. This was Overlord Vex Thara, leader of the Hegemony fleet. Humans of Earth, the alien said in broken English. You have caused much trouble, but it ends now. Surrender, and we might let some of you live as slaves. Lee stepped forward. Overlord Vexathera, I am Captain Daeho of Earth Defense. We do not surrender. We do not make others slaves, and we do not bow to tyrants. Vexathera's eyes got redder. You think your little rebellion matters? I still have 5,000 ships. You have maybe 100. You will all die. Maybe, Lee said calmly. But if we die free, and our message has already spread across the galaxy. Even if you destroy Earth, you will never stop what we started. We will see about that. The screen went black. A few seconds later, alarm bells started ringing. Incoming missiles, Hana shouted. They are targeting our moon. Lee watched as dozens of alien missiles headed toward Earth's moon. This was the Hegemony's standard move. Destroy something big to scare the enemy into giving up. But something unexpected happened. Before the missiles could hit the moon, other missiles came from a different direction and destroyed them. Q. Alien missiles exploded harmlessly in space. Where did those missiles come from? Lee asked. Park was reading her communications quickly. From Commander Kef's ship. The rebels are protecting us. On the screen, Lee could see ships moving. But it was confusing because now there were 3 different groups fighting. The loyal alien ships, the human defense fleet, and the rebel alien ships were all mixed together. Overlord Vexathera appeared on screen again. He looked very angry now. What is this? My own ships are firing at me. Those are not your ships anymore, Lee replied. Those are free beings choosing to fight for their freedom. General Kratos was talking quickly to Vexathera in their alien language. Park was translating. He is saying they cannot tell which ships are loyal and which are rebels. The rebels look exactly like their own ships. Lee smiled. This was perfect. The aliens' own system was working against them. Sir, Yoon called out. I am detecting weapons charging on the alien ships, but I cannot tell which ones are aiming at us and which ones are aiming at each other. Neither can they, Lee realized. They built their fleet to all look the same. Now they cannot tell friend from enemy. The battle began in earnest. Laser beams and missiles filled the space around Earth. But it was the strangest battle anyone had ever seen. Sometimes alien ships were shooting at each other. Sometimes they were shooting at humans. Sometimes human ships and alien ships were fighting side by side against other alien ships. Ambassador Song Mirei was coordinating with the rebel commanders. Captain, Commander Kef says his people know exactly which ships have slave crews and which have loyal alien crews. They have been watching each other for years. Tell him to share that information with our ships, Lee ordered. Already done, sir. Our targeting computers now know which aliens to shoot at. This gave Earth's small fleet a huge advantage. They knew exactly who the enemy was, but the loyal aliens had to guess. Lieutenant Hana was watching the battle on her screens. Sir, look at this. The aliens just fired on 3 of their own ships by mistake. And look at this, Yoon added. A group of rebel ships just captured an alien command vessel. They did not destroy it. They captured it. Lee was amazed. The rebels were not just fighting alongside humans. They were fighting smarter than the aliens ever had. Park got an urgent message. Captain, Commander Kef says they have captured General Kratos. He was on the command vessel they just took. Lee's eyes went wide. They captured the alien general? Yes, sir. And he had all the codes for the alien fleet communication system. This changed everything. With those codes, the rebels could send orders that looked like they came from alien commanders. Tell Commander Kef to order all alien ships to stand. Down, Lee said. Already doing it, sir. Across the battle, something amazing happened. About half of the remaining alien ships received orders to stop fighting and return to base. The orders looked official and used the right codes. Some alien ships obeyed and started to leave. Others got suspicious and kept fighting. But now the aliens were even more confused about who was on their side. Overlord Vexithara was screaming at his remaining ships. Do not follow those orders. Keep fighting. Destroy everything. But his voice was just one voice among many. The rebel ships were also broadcasting orders. The captured aliens were also talking. The communication system was full of different voices giving different commands. Lee watched as the alien fleet fell apart completely. Ships were going in all directions. Some were fighting, some were running, some were trying to surrender. Sir, Hana reported, we are winning. The alien fleet is completely disorganized. But Lee knew the battle was not over yet. Overlord Vexithara still had about 1,000 ships that were definitely loyal to him. And he was getting desperate. All ships, Vexithara broadcast on all frequencies. If we cannot win, we will destroy this planet completely. Ready the planet killer weapons. Lee felt cold. Planet killer weapons could destroy all life on Earth. How long do we have? Lee asked. Yoon checked his instruments. Those weapons take 10 minutes to charge up, sir. Can we stop them? Not with our weapons. But maybe. Park was already on it. Commander Kef, we need help. The aliens are preparing planet killer weapons. The reply came back immediately. We know about those weapons, Captain Lee. We have been forced to use them before. We know their weakness. What weakness? They need to be fired from the command ship, and we know exactly which ship that is. On the screen, Lee could see Vexithara's massive command ship. It was 3 times bigger than any other ship in the fleet. Can you reach it? Lee asked. We are already on our way, came the reply. Lee watched as dozens of rebel ships moved toward the alien command ship. They were not trying to destroy it, they were trying to board it. Sir, Song said, reading messages. The rebels are not just attacking the command ship, they are boarding it. They want to capture Overlord Vexithara alive. Why? Because he has the codes to free every slave in the galaxy. Lee understood. This battle was not just about saving Earth anymore. It was about freeing everyone the aliens had ever enslaved. The rebels reached the command ship just as the planet killer weapons finished charging. For a moment, Lee thought they were too late. But then the weapons powered down. The rebel ships had cut the power lines. Sir, Park called excitedly, I am getting a message from inside the alien command ship. Commander Kef says they have captured Overlord Vexithara. Lee sat down hard in his chair. They had done it. Somehow, impossibly, they had won. But as he looked at the screen showing the space battle, Lee knew this victory was different from any other in history. They had not won by being stronger or having better weapons. They had won by turning the enemy's slaves into friends. They had won with words that gave hope to people who had forgotten what hope felt like. The galaxy would never be the same again. 3 days after the battle, Captain Lee Dae-ho stood on the deck of the alien command ship. It was strange walking through the halls that had once belonged to Earth's greatest enemy. Now rebel soldiers from dozens of different species were working together to keep the ship running. Commander Kef walked beside him. Up close, the lizard-like being was even bigger than Lee had imagined, but his eyes were kind, and he spoke softly. Captain Lee, my people want to thank you, Kef said. For 50 years we thought we would die as slaves. Now we are free. You freed yourselves, Commander. We just reminded you that freedom was possible. They walked to the command room where Overlord Vexithara was being held. The alien leader sat in chains, but his 4 red eyes still burned with anger. Human, Vexithara spat when he saw Lee. You think you have won, But there are other fleets, other overlords. They will come for you. Lee looked at the alien calmly. Maybe they will. But when they do, they will find something different than what you found. What is that? They will find a galaxy full of free people who remember what you did to them. And those people will be ready. Dr. Park Yunji entered the room carrying a small device. Captain, we have finished downloading all the information from their computers. Every planet they conquered, every species they enslaved, every ship in their fleet. We have it all. How many? Lee asked. 847 different species, over 6,000 worlds, billions of people living as slaves. Vexithara laughed, but it was not a happy sound. See? Even if you free some of them, you cannot free them all. My empire is too big. Engineer Yoon Jae-min spoke up from behind his computer. Actually, we can. We have all your communication codes now. We can send messages to every planet in your empire at the same time. What kind of messages? Vexithara asked suspiciously. Lee smiled. The same message we sent to your fleet. That? They do not have to be slaves anymore. That Earth will help them fight for freedom. Vexithara's eyes went wide. You cannot do that. It would destroy everything we built. That is exactly what we are going to do. Ambassador Song Mi-rae was coordinating the biggest communication project in galactic history. From the alien command ship, they could reach every world that had ever been conquered by the hegemony. Are we ready? Lee asked. Yes, sir. The message has been translated into over 1,000 languages. Every planet will hear it in their own words. Lieutenant Choi Hana was monitoring space around Earth. Sir, more rebel ships are arriving every hour. Word is spreading that Earth is the place where the revolution started. Lee walked to the main screen. He could see Earth in the distance, beautiful and blue. Around it, hundreds of ships from dozens of species were gathering, not to conquer but to celebrate. Send the message, Lee ordered. The message went out across the galaxy faster than light. On thousands of worlds, enslaved people heard the same words that had started the rebellion. You do not have to be slaves anymore. The hegemony is broken. Earth stands ready to help any world that wants to be free. You are not alone. Park was monitoring responses from across the galaxy. Captain, the results are immediate. Planets are declaring independence everywhere. The hegemony governors are being overthrown on dozens of worlds. Any resistance? Some, but not much. Most of the hegemony forces were with the fleet that came here. The planets only had small garrison forces. They cannot stop whole populations from rising up. Admiral Kim's voice came over the communication system from Earth. Captain Lee, I am getting reports from our deep space monitors. Hegemony forces throughout the galaxy are collapsing. Some are surrendering. Others are just running away. Lee felt a weight lift from his shoulders. They had not just saved Earth, they had saved the galaxy. Commander Kef brought news from the liberated worlds. Captain, the planet Ketha is free. My homeworld is free for the first time in 50 years. Other alien commanders brought similar news. Species that had been enslaved for centuries were suddenly free. Worlds that had been strip-mined were starting to rebuild. Children who had been born as slaves were learning what freedom meant. But Lee knew the work was just beginning. Commander Kef, what will your people do now? Lee asked. We want to go home, but we also want to help others. Many worlds will need protection while they rebuild. Some species do not even remember how to govern themselves. Song had been thinking about this problem. We could form a new organization. Not an empire like the hegemony, but a partnership. A group of free worlds helping each other. What would we call it? Lee asked. The Galactic Liberation Council, Song suggested. Every species gets one vote, no matter how big or small. No one rules over anyone else. Lee liked the idea. Would other species join? Kef nodded. My people would join, and I think many others would too. We have learned that we are stronger together than apart. Over the next few weeks, representatives from hundreds of species came to Earth. The small blue planet became the center of the largest peace conference in galactic history. Lee found himself meeting with beings he could never have imagined. Some looked like giant insects. Others looked like living crystals. Some were small and furry. Others were tall and made of energy, but they all had one thing in common. They had all been slaves, and now they were free. Engineer Yoon presented his final report on the hegemony technology. "Captain, we have learned something important. The way. Aliens were not actually more advanced than everyone else. They just stole technology from every species they conquered." "What do you mean?" "Their ships use engines invented by the Ketha people. Their weapons were designed by the Nyx civilization. Their computers were built by a species called the Vel. The hegemony never invented anything themselves." Park added, "That is why they were so easy to defeat once their slaves turned against them. They did not understand their own technology." Lee thought about this. So the real genius in the galaxy was not the conquerors. It was the people they conquered. Exactly. And now all those people are free to work together instead of being forced to work for tyrants. The Galactic Liberation Council was officially formed on a Tuesday. Lee was chosen as the first Secretary General, but he insisted it would only be for 1 year. After that, each species would take turns leading. Overlord Vexathera was put on trial for crimes against entire civilizations, but instead of executing him, the council decided to make him work for the rest of his life helping to rebuild the worlds he had destroyed. "Why not just kill him?" Lee asked during one of the meetings. Commander Kef answered, "Because we are not like him. We do not solve problems by destroying things. We solve problems by building things." 6 months later, Lee stood in his office on Earth looking out at the stars. Ships from across the galaxy came and went every day. Earth had become the diplomatic center of a free galaxy. Dr. Park knocked on his door. "Captain, we are getting reports from the edge of the galaxy. There might be other empires out there. Other conquerors." Lee was not worried. "Let them come. They will find something they have never seen before." "What is that?" "They will find a galaxy that knows how to fight together. A galaxy that remembers what freedom costs. A galaxy that will never be enslaved again." Park smiled. "So what do we do now?" Lee looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, billions of people were living free lives for the first time in centuries. Children were learning to read. Artists were creating beautiful things. Scientists were discovering new wonders. "Now we do what humans have always done," Lee said. "We help others. We explore, we learn. We build a better future for everyone." As he spoke, a new ship appeared in Earth's sky. It was from a species that had just freed itself from another small empire on the other side of the galaxy. They had heard about Earth and the Liberation Council. They wanted to join. Lee smiled. The galaxy was a big place, full of wonders and dangers. But for the first time in a very long time, it was also full of hope. And hope, as it turned out, was the most powerful weapon of all. Earth had shaken the galaxy not with bombs or bullets, but with a simple idea. That every being deserved to be free. That idea would echo across the stars for generations to come.